Alright, so this morning I did the Jackson Township Elementary PTO 5K. I think that's what we call it. Up Lake Vinco Way. It's a pretty decent morning. I think it was like, well, it's 70 now. It was probably about that, maybe 68 or something at the start. Kind of tired this morning. Got like 3 hours of sleep last night. Played around, whatever, not getting to bed, so didn't have like the most energy this morning when I was racing, but it wouldn't have mattered because the kid who won he's just in another level on his own. I think he dropped like a 1630. I only managed a 1740. There's no way I could even have came close to that kid. So that's cool. Got to talk to him for a while after the race. Qualified for Boston, so that was nice. Talked to him for a while. Let's see. I switched it up a little bit today. I just wore my headband, wore my my 2XU shorts, calf sleeves. Broke out the Endorphin Pros today. I wasn't really expecting much today. I was trying to save some energy for tomorrow. Maybe try to PR my other race tomorrow, but so I didn't really want to have to push it too much. So when I showed up, there was like 3 kids. It looked pretty fast, and I was just like, took myself out of it mentally pretty early, well before the race started. I figured tomorrow would be my A because today's course was a little bit hard. Even though it's got some rolling hills and stuff, which is in my wheelhouse, I just wanted to try to save some for tomorrow. So anyway, we took off at the start. There was pretty much 3 of us the whole race running together. I think I stuck with first, well, within like 10 seconds of first, for maybe mile and a half, 2 miles range. I know it was after the water stop. I was still close by within 10 seconds. And then he just put it on that last mile where I just faded really bad. Probably a little bit of both. He was a pretty strong runner. I never would have caught him on my best day. So he was like one time he threw down's like a minute faster than I could even do it on my best day. So anyway, I'm trying to think what to say about this one today. I know it's got like 250 feet of gain for the course. You start uphill to start. I know I videoed it afterwards, calling out some numbers of gain and descent. So that's probably more accurately if you want to watch the race course preview. But we'll say it's like 50 feet, and we make it right down this little. I don't know if it's not a housing development, but I think it's like a dead-end road. Go down to this yellow bell box, which is actually a good marker for a turnaround because it's it's something that you can pick up real easy. So we turn around there, head back up. 10th, then we go on this big, long, rolling incline-decline hill. Make a left onto this little like tar and chipped road today, out to the water stop and turn around. First place ran around the water stop table, which caught me off guard for a second because we usually turn before the water stop, so I just did it too because he had such a lead. Even though I would have cut right in front of the table normally, I just did the same thing because at that time he had such a lead and there was nobody. Well, this 3rd place was probably just as much behind me as I was behind first. So it didn't make a difference, and I wanted to be fair because he ran it that way, so I wanted to run it that way. Yeah, that's probably where I started to lose him at, because then when we turned back the way we came, there was like a downhill, and I could just see it. He was just gaining, and I was just, yep, this ain't happening. So that's how that was. It was a smaller crowd than last year. I would say almost, I don't know, about half is what there was last year, but there was definitely at least 20 or 30 more people last year than this year. I know there's a couple other things going on in the area today that probably took a few away, or even a lot of people that ran last week for the 4th probably still not recovered or wanting to race again back-to-back weekends, so that probably hurt. But it helps the PTO, and it's the Jackson Township. Yeah, so that's where we're at today, Jackson Township, dumbass. By the fire hall, that's where we started at today. But it helps the area, and Jackson Township has a little like fair today for the whole weekend. So there's some food trucks and stuff set up. I don't know, I think it's the 3rd time I've done this course. I know I did it last year, and I don't know if it was on hiatus for a while or somebody else took it over, but I know I did it like 6-7 years ago when I first started running more competitively. It's not a bad course, but it's not an easy course either, with those out and backs, and then just the elevation gain. Like I said, it's like 250 feet. So it's not really a PR type course, unless you don't run many races, and then I guess it could be, but otherwise it's not one that I would recommend for a PR. But it's a good test for your endurance and your like hill running ability, just because of like the hills and stuff like that in that short period. Plus there's generally a couple of fast kids that come, so it gets you pushing a little bit harder. And it was nice today to have those, I don't want to call them youngsters, but I think the guy who won was 25 or something like that, I think he said. And then there was like one high school kid, like 16-year-old, and I forget how old the other kid was who won it last year. He hasn't been running as much, so he finished 4th. But it was nice to have them there today. Actually, even though I didn't want to race against fast people, I just wanted to like cruise through it today. But it was nice to have them, because I probably did stay motivated a lot more. Then we all went out after the 3 of us, top 3, went and did the course again afterwards, and I got the GoPro it. So you probably hear talking a little bit randomly, not really much about the course, but you'll get to see the course in a couple of days once I get better service to get it back online. I got a $30 Sheets card for coming in second, so I'll take that. That covers the entry fee for me, so break even for racing. That's a pretty good day from my book. Got to pet a dog after the race, made my day a little bit. Other than that, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm tired. I really don't feel like talking a lot or explaining things, but I don't know. Check out the video when I get it up. Check out the race course. Try to come next year and support it. It is for the PTO, and you know PTO does a lot for schools and the children in school, so consider supporting it. I think in years past it was more of a closed course. There was a couple cars this year in it, but there was a police following the last person, so that's something to consider as well. But we didn't have a lead vehicle. There was enough signs of volunteers. We aren't going to get lost. It would probably be really hard, and you'd have to actually try to get lost. So, well, I don't want to say that and somebody get lost, but you know what I mean. Unless you're on front, then you just don't pay attention like I do a lot of times, and you'll get lost. But other than that, there were signs. Generally, you can see where to turn, and there was usually a volunteer there as well. So they basically doubled up, to make a turn or give some kind of direction. And whatever. I'm done talking. I'm tired.